Are we live? I think we're live. I think we're very much alive. Anyone over there? Say hello. The first person who says hello gets a shout out from me. Hey Sam, welcome. And do you remember? I'm just going to jump straight into this, but do you remember this? Does that song sound familiar? Yes, it is remix time. We're gonna live back. I'm gonna reduce the volume a little, and I'm gonna wait for Karan to come on so I can invite him. Man, I haven't heard this song in a good 14 years now. You guys hear this song? Waiting for Karan to come on. Hello guys, welcome. I hope you all are excited as I am very excited. Karan Vahi and myself are going to go down the memory lane and speak about what happened and what you guys don't know about, especially what all happened in the makeup room amongst all our school kids. Karan Vahi, we are only waiting for you, my friend. Hey Acha, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Kalpi, Shivani, Vipul, I can't add you right now, man. I've got another friend waiting for me, but soon. Do we have Karan Vahi? There you go. Man, I love this song. I really like this song. Asma at the time had sung it for us and we got along so well. Network problem at Karan's end, you think? I think he's got a great broadband plan. And he probably have a backup plan as well.
Karan Vahi waiting for you, my friend. Meanwhile, how many remix times over here? Who grew up watching remix? Tell me. I think all of us, to date, I still get compliments from everybody. And they all say what a great show that was and how they still are connected. And this is one of the reasons why people like the show. And the reason is this man right here. What a cute. The song just got over and Sisodia. Well,
I was like, let's let the song finish, then only I'll enter.
No. My friend, how are you doing? It's so good to see you.
I am good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. I'm very excited because suddenly after 16 years, I woke up and I said, you know what? Let's just recount all the many things, the good things that have happened to us in our professional lives. And no better than remix to start off with, yeah?
For sure.
I think one of the biggest questions I'm battling is where my future is going to be, what I'm going to do. And one of the good ways to realize where I'm going is to know where I've come from.
Exactly.
And found speaking to you, that person who I was facing off all those many scenes, my God, shit, man, do you remember?
I think it's a lot of fun because I think also what happens is when back in the days I remember people remember that one incident, that one PR stunt that had to go out. That
about you and I.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't look eye to eye. But
we couldn't even play that off, man.
Yeah, we couldn't.
I remember
it
was couldn't do that. Our first PR thing, and we failed miserably at it. I think our conflict was enough as Arjun and Sisodia that it didn't need to translate to Siddhant and Karan.
I know, man, and I think that should be that's how it should be. I think I feel I understand from the PR perspective that it's a lot of intrigue for people that these two people cannot look eye to eye. But then, if you see it from a broader perspective, then it's really really funny or stupid, I should say, that if two
Mm.
people work together, how can they not look eye to eye? Because whatever people say or whatever people say, it doesn't affect. I think if two people are working together and their off-camera resonation isn't there, it definitely affects. It eventually does. It might not come or reflect on camera, but then it becomes a problem for everybody on set, which never
Mm.
reaches the audience.
Mm. Have you ever faced that? Have you been in a situation where you've not really got along or been on loggerheads with? Come on, I don't need names. You can
Once,
give me names.
once
No.
I had I had one of my leads that I'd worked with for a very brief
Mm-hmm.
time. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I had a very, I didn't have a problem, or we were not at loggerheads. I had a
Mm-hmm.
problem with the way of working. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I could understand that that's your way to do your job, but if
Mm-hmm.
it starts affecting my work, then
Mm-hmm.
it's just humanly not right.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
That's all.
So I want to talk about how your journey has been so far, man. Like you've donned so many hats. Started off as this young boy from Delhi who came and became this heartthrob and continues to be a heartthrob. But what I really respect about you is you don't stop there. You're constantly, evolving. You're wearing new hats.
Yeah.
You made it huge as an actor. You made it even bigger as an anchor. And we just had a conversation and you're doing something else. I don't know if you're ready to announce that yet, so I'll leave it up to you.
No,
But
people know about it. I can't obviously tell too much about it, but yeah,
sure.
but I feel yeah, it's been 16 years, and I think the only reason I keep going on and on and on and on is because I think that was the very reason we all came to Mumbai. We
Mm,
came here to work. Yes, what happens is I think with time you tend to uh, you tend to relax way too much or take things for granted, and I
hmm.
think that's very very okay to take things for granted at times,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we are all human beings, and eventually uh, you can say that, oh, I will never take my work for granted, but eventually it happens sometimes.
Mm,
It does happen. It's a
hmm.
boon sometimes, it's a bane sometimes,
Hmm.
but I feel for me, personally, I feel when Remix ended, especially, I was so
Hmm.
young that the Karan that I was, like, I don't even remember that guy. Like, I remember last year when we met at Didi's house
Yeah.
and that party, and then everyone spoke about their memory of Remix. I
Yeah.
I realized there were so many memories in which I was involved, but I don't know that guy. Like I don't remember that guy because at that point of time, I thought that's the way of life. But
Hmm.
I think the more work you do, the more you spend time in the fraternity or off the fraternity also. You obviously evolve.
Hmm.
B, you have to be relevant, and I
Hmm.
think that relevance is what keeps me going. Because
Hmm.
when Remix ended, I thought, okay, everything is hunky dory.
Hmm.
I am a star. I'll get work. So will the others. But
Hmm.
eventually, uh, there was a time. I think after Remix only 2 years, I didn't do anything
Hmm.
out of choice. But when I wanted to do something and the next thing I did and it failed,
Hmm.
that's when it hit me that maybe relevance is more important or most important, because times are
Hmm.
changing. Television, anyways, uh, sometimes is not looked very creatively upon. Uh,
Right.
and eventually I've been hearing this for so many years कि यार अब तो stars नहीं बनते हैं, stars नहीं बनते हैं. I think
Hmm.
it's in your own hand. It's in your own. Obviously, destiny plays a very very big role. But
Hmm.
eventually, I've realized over the years that I'd rather do 10,000 things and
Hmm.
fail at 9,999, and I don't
Hmm.
mind that. because at least by the end of time, or by the end of whenever I stop doing this, whenever it is, I'll have such a big plethora, or I'll have such a big table with so many varieties that I would have played or done, that I'm sure somewhere down the line I would have connected with someone. एंड दैट्स व्हाट कीप्स मी गोइंग यार. मतलब इसके अलावा तो फिर मतलब घर पे बैठ के भी क्या करना है ना. मतलब घर पे बैठोगे, यू विल वेस्ट मनी, यू विल स्पेंड मनी, you will have random ideas in your head. Then you will reach a point where you will be like, "Arey, why is he getting so much work? He's not talented, or that person is not talented." But then eventually you're also not doing anything about yourself. So you'd rather
That's
go
very
there
true.
and do your job.
That's really good. You know, you said 3 to 4 things which really kind of resonated with me. One was the relevance factor, which you're so right about. And the only way we as actors can be relevant is if we are staying connected,
Yeah.
not just to our audiences, but to ourselves as well.
Yeah.
You know, when we lose that connection, that down to earth groundedness, it just goes on another level.
Yeah.
You spoke about failures, which I totally agree with. And I want, if you can, because everyone looks at you as this charming heartthrob boy who's been on a smooth curve of success, but it's not been so, you know, and very rarely do we actually get to talk about the failures. And like you very correctly are saying, there are 999,000 failures which people don't know about. They know about the successes, but it's the failures which actually make the success.
I think also because that's probably, Siddhant, because a lot of people everyone's failure eventually, I think, is reaches a point where they think I failed because I didn't make the money, or I'm not rich enough, or my per day is not that much. Failure can be anything. Like I feel failures can also be not, like, if your show's not done well, that's not your failure. But there are times when your show does really well and you're not even, or your film does really well, or your web thing does really well and no one talks about you. That's also failure. Also, I feel in the middle, like I said, you know, when you get really, really eased out in your life and you get really, really complacent, sometimes you don't realize that what you're preaching, you're not practicing. And that's happened to me also. There came a time when I wanted to work a lot, but my want to probably do more dreamy things like films, or, you know, or aspects that I already had. Like I had so many films signed on, but today they're just a piece of contract paper. None of them materialized. Few of them did. One did not release. Two worked decently, but still nothing happened ahead. So I don't count them as failures, but it's just that sometimes, like I remember, Remix ended and everyone said, "Oh, you're the next big thing. Everyone wants you. Everyone wants you." And suddenly, the amount of money that we used to make in Remix was technically peanuts. But when we were doing Remix, that money looked a lot. It's when I went out of the fraternity and I was offered something, I was like, "Nahi, nahi, I want more." I didn't realize that I was anyways getting so much more. But now I term that as a failure on my part, because maybe I held something monetarily more important than the want of working. But other than that, I think failures and success is for the world can be, or for fans, or for people who watch us, or maybe even people who look up to us, or our contemporaries, might be that, अरे यार उसका इतने shows चल रहे हैं, या उसकी इतनी films चल रही हैं, या अरे यार he's anchoring so much यार. So for them that is my success. But for me, my success with time has become what new can I do with everything I do. Because if I can't do something new, that's where the relevance factor will pop up. And like I remember when we were in Remix, I still used to work out that time. You used to work out with me, and we used to always keep telling each other, "अरे यार तेरा body अच्छा है, मेरा body अच्छा है." But nobody used to talk about my physique back then. So after Remix ended, I was like, "यार, I have a great physique, but I'm still tagged in that cute boy next door thing. I want to reinvent myself." And I went berserk about it. Then people started talking only about my physique. So I went on the anchoring path. Then I wanted to play different characters. I wanted to do characters. There were times people would be like, "Are you okay with doing something like this?" I was like, "No, anything that can break my mold of my physique or my body, and I'm okay if people say, 'वाह sir, क्या body है?' But eventually with time, वो body ना फिर आपको फिर वो body वाले ही रोल दिलाएगी. आप फिर अपने आप को एक्टर बोल नहीं पाओगे. तो
Correct.
I think it's just I think evolution has happened way too much here.
No man, boys to men. No, but that was the time where अरे actor बनना है, six pack है क्या? That is what we used to
नहीं, अभी भी
be
है.
told, and therefore we used to observe.
No,
अभी
even
जरा
today.
कम हो गया है मेरे ख्याल
नहीं
से.
यार, अभी भी है. मैं बताऊं आपको, इवेंचुअली क्या है ना, शायद आपको क्रिएटिवली कोई ना बोले या आपको प्रोड्यूसर आके ना बोले कि आपके सिक्स पैक हैं क्या, बट कहीं ना इफ यू लुक अ सर्टेन वे और इफ यू लुक्ड अ सर्टेन वे इन द पास्ट, it's a very unsaid expectation that is there, without realizing that maybe the guy or the girl could look different and play a character differently, and maybe the entire perception changes. But वही है कि that eventually you have to do yourself.
That is true. Speaking about workouts, I remember the time when you and I used to work out in the makeup room between shots, and we used to stink up the makeup room. और वैसे भी हम all us guys are just one room.
I know.
those individual room that wasn't there only, and we preferred it that way.
7 of us were there in that room.
7 of them. 3 mattresses, 1 chess game, and weights. That was our makeup room. We used to stink up the place. None of the girls ever came into our room because there was this whiff of sweat. It used to come out. And then we also used to get, I think, tired, and we used to go into the girls' makeup room and hang out there most of the time.
Exactly, because but I think those were days, yaar. Matlab, I think I think our first schooling, and I always tell this to Shishtidi and Goldie Bhaiya, that it was I think it became a way of life, and I'm glad that happened in the earlier part of my life. Because I think it just laid the foundation of what is necessary and what can be a luxury. So
elaborate more on this with regards to Remix.
I think things like having one makeup room from 7 people. If you tell me today to be in a makeup room with 7 people, I would straight away say no. But today, I would say not. I would say no, not because I am the lead, I should have a separate makeup room. I would say no because I would be like, yeah, I need my privacy.
Correct.
I can share my room with, say, a few people or another person, so that I also have my alone time, or I have my time. I want, if I want to rest, I have the bed. I don't want to sleep on the floor. But that I think is okay because it comes from there. Then the smallest things like after Remix, it's never happened. Lunch has to be eaten together on that table outside that was meant for everyone. I think that was a great rule कि आपको lunch खाना है, आप कमरे में नहीं खा सकते अपने, आप आओ proper, आपके लिए आपको जो चाहिए आपको मिलेगा, and it's like a buffet system. And the fun part is that because we were so many of us on that show, that 1 hour break would be such a relief, because you would talk about scenes, or you would just talk about life, or you would just be fooling around with each other, and then you wanted to rush, like people like me wanted to rush to play cricket because we wanted 15 minutes we have, let's play
Yeah.
cricket on. So I think those things I miss because, and that's what I said. Like when you become a star, uh, certain things, unfortunately, are let go. And you don't probably do it deliberately, but it just
Yeah.
happens. So I'm just
Yeah.
glad that in the first phase of my acting career, uh, I enjoyed that proximity, that entire bonding that all of us had. We had our
Hmm.
share of rifts, or like not coming to a conclusion, and I think that happens everywhere. But
Yeah.
what I loved about Remix was this only, and I think it all resonates down from Goldie Baya and Shishtidi, and just
Hmm.
happened because of them. Because when they
Hmm.
called us family, they kept us like one.
Yeah. That is very true. I remember the sitting with even Anup sir, Sonia, all the seniors who used to come,
Exactly.
and just sitting with them on that lunch table and
Yeah.
them giving us advice or not giving us advice, and being
Yeah.
that was a great foundation for us. Yeah, it was literally school back again,
I
acting school
remember
for us.
I remember जब वो क्योंकि I think महीने में एक दो बार ही आते थे वो लोग, and that day we
हाँ.
were like, oh, today senior actors have come, senior actors have come. Today we don't have too much to do, senior actors have come. So I think that entire joy of like it, I think it felt like school only.
Hmm. It
So
was cool.
it
It
was
was
cool.
it was cool that we were getting paid for. How cool
Unbelievable.
is that?
Unbelievable, man.
Absolutely.
मतलब unbelievable.
Okay, so I've got some questions which the fans have written down, which I want to address.
Yeah.
Some very interesting ones. Okay, first is Karan, what's your favorite memory from Remix?
My favorite memory. I have
Top
a
of
mem
mind. I know there are many.
I have a memory from Remix that I've kept in my pocket that I wanted to show. I would want to show what this memory is. 16 years down the line, I still have my data with me.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my God. Dude, that's amazing, man. Well
Yeah,
done.
it's still with me. This is what I took from Remix, and they asked me if you want something from Remix. I said I want my data.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah,
that is so cool. And
yeah,
you kept it with you. Do you
yeah,
do you
yeah.
keep it often with you, or is it like a
No, it's in my.
you,
So I have an Elmira in my house which has all the
huh?
giveaways from everything that I've done. So this is my
That's
remix
wonderful.
thing. It's turned dark, and you know what? The funny part is, after all these years, I realized it's a bloody dragon.
Dude, I never looked at it that close, man. Shit, it's like Game of Thrones dragon.
It's a
Damn
dragon,
neat.
and I was like, dude, this Sangane boy was quite ahead of his time. So, but yeah, like I think memory-wise, I feel. Yeah, I love the entire fact about Remix that really is fond to me is that we got to work with so many people who
Hmm.
either uh, became bigger stars after Remix
Hmm.
or are still
Hmm.
working
Hmm.
and just the entire mayhem of Remix that we encountered with all the kids. Those were not Instagram days. Those were hi-fi
Yeah.
days and Orkut days. Uh,
Yeah.
and I remember we didn't have like I didn't have a Wi-Fi at home or an internet connection. So that office, we used to always line up कि आधा घंटा मेरा. I want to check.
MSN पे chat करते.
This is my half an hour. I want to see fans what they are writing for me.
Yeah.
So I think all those memories are are so fresh for me.
Yeah.
And I think children coming on our sets to see remix ka shoot, uh,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
very rarely happens. And even today now, today is 1st of November, and I have got so many messages and videos, so many wishes. It's unbelievable that after 16 years also, it means so much to people. And
That's amazing, man.
it's just it's nerve-wracking, but it's so wonderful.
Yeah. No, we're really blessed to be part of something like that. Yeah. Uh, Well, if you could remake remix today,
Yeah.
what would your character be? That's the question. If you
I
could
actually,
remake remix today, what would your character be? Who do you want to play again?
I would play Ranveer only, man. Like I think
Ranveer.
I had actually in the middle we were actually in talks to get Remix back, and I'd written some stuff and I'd sent it ahead, and then because of whatever reasons, Remix probably cannot be made because it's a show that is from abroad,
Right. Right.
and it has rights and all those jazz. So
Right.
what was the name? What had I had written it. It was called Remix Reloaded. I had written, and I just changed. I basically changed everyone's character. Like I changed Sisodia to this a really shrewd uh, businessman who basically wants to succeed in life, and yeah, I just completely turned him around. Uh,
Okay.
I'd made UV doing something that he hated the most. UV
Oh,
hated politics, his father's work ethics the most. And what if he became one? Uh,
nice.
Stuff like that.
Nice. So
I wrote,
remix when the characters grow up, what did they
yeah,
become? That's the yeah, that's great. That's
but
superb. And
but
what is Anvesha?
I got Anvesha married.
Did she have three
Anvesha,
kids?
imagine Anvesha being like a really so, I got Anvesha like that transformation in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai for Kajol, like a
Ah,
tomboy
yeah,
becoming
yeah,
like
yeah,
full
yeah.
on like
Yeah. Yeah.
good girl. So just one of those aspects, and getting everyone back together, and they come back to
Nice.
Moria High
Nice.
just for the
Nice.
love of the band remix.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's
Oh, are there kids in Moria High? Is that like
no, their kids are they don't
no,
have
their kids are
kids.
not.
They don't have
They
kids. Nobody has
don't well,
kids.
except Anvesha who's got 7 kids.
No, Anvesha also didn't die. I think
Acha.
that would just take Anvesha way too seriously. No. Can't take Anvesha
And
that seriously.
what about Tia? What about Tia? What is her
Tia,
thing?
I actually thought that the best thing would be that because Tia's character was all about herself,
Yeah.
and keeping herself as the central aspect of the scene.
Right.
She'd become like this really giving, and not leading from the front, but you
Right.
go ahead, I have your back, kind of a
Nice.
woman. So
Nice.
just like
Nice.
a flip of everybody. But
Right.
if I had to answer, I would always play Ranveer. Yeah, I think it's I don't know anything else because I feel when a show becomes such a cult thing out there, it's very difficult to don the character that someone else has done it,
Yeah.
and it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with a character small, big, longer, shorter, lead, not lead.
Yeah.
It's such a heavy impression that everyone has put out there that you'd rather actually do it again and see if it works again.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, if you shaved, you look exactly like Ranveer again.
With straight hair this time.
Which what were some of the pranks that you played on your co-star? Oh, I remember this one very well.
Yeah, I've done a lot actually.
Remix के time क्या? I remember there's one thing you used to do about with the water spray. Go about sneezing on everybody and
But yeah, I think I think I've played too many pranks with Habib. Those pranks
oh,
became too
those
serious.
aren't pranks. Those,
I remember a prank that I'd done in Goa.
huh.
This is the earlier, I think, 4th, 5th episode of Remix. So we went to this hotel in South Goa, Kenilworth, and we were staying there. And I think for 3 days we didn't have accommodation there, so we were shifted in a smaller motel kind of a place. So that motel was very like it looked like a haunted house. Like I wouldn't describe it because a lot of people might get offended. Why it looks
Right.
like a haunted house, but primarily, you know, every room had like a, you know, when you entered, every room had a, so usually rooms have numbers. This one had a cross. So it was like a Catholic motel. Uh, so I actually created this entire funda in that motel that boss मेरे कमरे में ना तो ठक ठक हो रही है और and it spread like wildfire to the point that everyone was in my room.
Uh-huh.
And
And Habib, what about where did Habib come in?
I think Habib,
Habib was a tuk
I
tuk.
think, I think Habib, no, the tuk tuk was me only. So, so it was very easy to, you know, play a prank on Raj at that time. So Raj and I would share the room. So I was sleeping on one side of the bed and Raj was sleeping on the other side of the bed. So with my left, I was sleeping on the left side. So from the, no, I was sleeping on the right side near the window. So with my own hands, I was like bajawing the bed, niche. And I said, bro, I saw
and
someone
Raj
outside.
never, and Raj didn't ever like.
And Raj was like, and Raj at that time was very like कि किसी चीज से डर नहीं लगता बट ये ऐसी छोटी मोटी चीजों से बड़ा डर लगता है कि ये क्या बकवास चल रहा है. I said I saw something outside and there's some shadow. But Habib, I think Habib was the only one I think who just became a detective for it. I think he took Nakul way too seriously.
Way too seriously. Very
Yes.
true, man.
That.
He was Nakul, yeah. That's why
He
they
was
cast him.
Nakul.
It is
He was Nakul.
great guy, man. Great sport also, Habib is. Okay. If you woke up as this person, what is the first thing that you would do? First thing
Yeah.
that comes to mind, okay? If you woke up as Priya Wall, what is the first thing that you would do?
I would say, hey, Bhaggu, वापस सो जा. I would just be
If you-
with Priya. If I woke up as Priya Wall, I'll at least for once in my
No,
lifetime
no,
see.
not
as
if you woke
Anvesha.
up with.
No, not
not
with,
if you
as,
woke up with.
as Priya Wall. I think I'll at least get a taste of her medicine with those red hair, how she felt probably. But I would still say, hey, Bhaggu, so ja, and I'll sleep.
Okay. If you woke up as Habib, since Habib just joined us,
I would feel the pain that Karan Bhai gave me.
all the bruises, emotional and physical. I'll tell you what, Bo, he really loves you, man. Like
I know,
there is
I love him too,
brotherly,
yaar.
lovely bond, man, that he has
think
with you. Yeah.
I really love him, and I'm like
Yeah.
the last time when I shot with him also, and I spoke to him also, and I told him, I said, I'm really sorry for the mean things that I've done to you
Oh.
back in the days, but I am not that guy anymore. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I was this boy from Delhi who just thought कि
बस
body का
impulse पे हीट उठाता था. Some stories we can't share on the internet. I think some stories will always remain.
I don't lift any more bricks in my life. I don't push people through walls anymore. I don't do that anymore.
One iconic dialogue you still remember from Remix.
It's your dialogue.
I knew it.
So for people who are watching this, so when Siddhant Karnik came on Remix, so Sid was not great with Hindi. Like how I wasn't great with English back then, Sid wasn't great with Hindi. Sid could speak, but there was some
extremely bad. Karan being very polite and nice.
No, there
terrible.
were some issues that Hindi is a language. If you change one word, it just changes the meaning completely. So Siddhant Karnik had to say कि इतना मारूंगा कि खड़े नहीं हो पाओगे. Literal transformation, कहते हैं literal meaning, I will beat you so much that you would not be able to stand. Now, instead of saying इतना मारूंगा कि खड़े नहीं हो पाओगे, he said इतना मारूंगा कि खड़ा नहीं हो पाएगा. literal meaning something else. For people who don't know what the literal meaning is, I will beat you so much that you won't have a hard on. So, and he said it with utmost sincerity and anger. And I have never laughed so much in my life on
No,
set.
no, you. That's the thing. You couldn't laugh because
Yeah,
the
because I
camera
did
was
this.
behind me,
Yeah, post that because I was like this.
and yes, and Bhushan sir was directing with the most strict sort of director of remix, and all these guys. And I said that line was exactly. No one could break a laugh. Also that time, that was serious acting skills.
So yeah, I will never forget that line.
Yeah, man, it's truly iconic. I'm glad I was part of that, and you all gave me so much of hell for that. For every meeting, you all bring that up, man.
No, but that is like before that, my takeaway from Remix before you came on the show was my first or second day when I had a dialogue with Gaurav, who was playing Sid. And I'm basically derawing him. Like I'm like giving him like, the stares and I'm saying and I have to say that, listen, dude, don't mess with me, otherwise I'm gonna fuck you. And because I was playing a Rajput and I had a tonation, so I had to say, बना आप यहाँ से चले जाएं वरना हमसे बुरा कोई नहीं होगा. And for the first few times ना I was like ये गुस्सा हो रहा है, भीख मांग रहा है, ये ऐसे कौन बोलता है? Like he's angry. Like who gets angry like this? So they're like, no, he gets angry like this. So I think it was fun. It was fun in those days. It was good fun.
Nice. Yeah, man. I remember joining in with Remix a lot later on.
Yeah.
But what I really felt throughout was that you guys didn't take much time to absorb me in. I never felt like an outsider, even though I came later. It was from day one, day two only. By the time I was able to get comfortable, you guys had already like accepted me in, and that was superb, man. That
Yeah,
was
because
really,
I think I feel that happens because when there are so many people on set, yes, the first perspective of the show was about the four so-called leads, but the show wasn't
yeah,
about just the four of us. The show was about
yeah,
everybody. And I think that resonated off camera, and I think that's why anyone who came, be it Jay Soni, be it Arjun Bijlani, be it anybody, Bharat, or even the seniors, it
yeah,
was taken in a very, very right perspective, and I think that should be the perspective always.
yeah. True. Very true. And again, hats off to, I think, Goldie Bell sir and ma'am Shrishti for just inculcating those habits within us and not, allowing us to go anywhere else. Those are great foundations that they taught us, man, and got us up on. Okay. Anything else? One popular question which is coming in, which I don't even want to ask. It's about when is Karan getting married? There are a whole bunch of women over here who just
The problem
know
is,
that.
yeah, the problem is, for all these years, the question was, when are you having a girlfriend? Now, when you've had a girlfriend, you have a
it
girlfriend.
never stops.
So now, when you are getting married, so
Then when you're married, when you're having children,
kids.
when you're children, then when you're
then
getting divorced. वो तो चलता रहेगा.
then they'll say, when are you dying?
Yeah.
When will you die? But I think people who want to know when I'm getting married, firstly, you will not be invited. So, and secondly, you'll get to know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
to like karo an elan about it, and I'm not in a very rude way. I'm saying it. I think I'm saying it in a very
Yeah.
general way that I feel is just that's the only difference between our era and the digital era. That
Yeah.
there's so much pressure on that perspective that people sometimes forget for the good reasons also that if two people have to do something, they'll do it. Like
Yeah.
I know they are celebrities and they're always in the line of fire, but that's how it is. So I've just initially I used to say no comments, but now I've just answering. I've started answering
Good.
back because I've
Very
just
good.
like, and I honestly feel that um, um, everyone, like anyone and everyone who comes on our lives, we do this not because uh, uh, we'll get more followers. We do this to connect with all our fans or people who want to talk or see us or talk to us. And I'd rather
Yeah.
have people ask me some really interesting questions. Things
Yeah.
that probably I have missed somewhere, and a question pops up.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to tell everybody कि जब भी कोई भी live पे आता है ना, ask them some really really meaningful questions, because uh, I would love that more than आपकी शादी कब हो रही है,
Yeah.
हो जाएगी मेरी शादी.
Absolutely. So, segue into that is something that Shri has just asked right now. Shri asks, how are you guys keeping yourselves motivated in the current situation? I think that's a great question.
Yeah, Shri, I feel I understand that things are not as good as they were, a year back. But I think I have just reached a point where I've just completely forgotten about the fact that things are not going great, because when you see the outside world, the world is behaving as normal as they were, say, last year. So
Yeah.
I am probably taking my precautions and and doing my job. It can be from home, it can be from work, at work. I understand a lot of people don't have that kind of liberty or that kind of space where people are working, but I feel yes, uh, mental dissatisfaction, I'll call it, will always be there when things don't go right or things don't go according to plan. But I feel the least that we can probably do is talk to a friend, talk to somebody
Mm-hmm.
you can talk about it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and if it still doesn't help, uh, then try to reinvent yourself. Try to do something about it yourself. Because if you don't help
Mm-hmm.
yourself, nobody will, and nobody
Mm-hmm.
should. I feel you should help yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there are times when I also get sad. There were times when I was down and out, and I said, "Damn, मेरा ये काम रह गया, मेरा वो नहीं हो रहा, मेरा ये नहीं हो रहा." I don't have money to spend. I don't have money for this. This is my life now, and I can't spend like that. But
Mm-hmm.
so certain aspects where I get the opportunity probably more than a few more, few people out there. But Shri, the only way you can be up in a way is uh, just at least if you don't have work, that is, uh, then do something about it at home. Uh, make your
Mm-hmm.
when you get up in the morning, make your bed the first.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read this thing always that when you get up in the morning, make your bed, because if you can't do that also, and if you need help for that also, imagine do help your family. If you're living with your family, do household chores, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually this time frame will pass by. uh,
Mm-hmm.
and hope and pray that when you come out of this, you come out as a better person. I don't know, a more
Mm-hmm.
successful person or not, but come out as a better
Yeah.
person, a better human being. And I think that's what matters.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true, man. What you just said. I think all of us are kind of redefining what success means to us and how we define what success is to people. So I think what's really come out is that it's not about the money, it's not about the fame, it's not about reaching those high CEO positions
Yeah,
or one. It's just about being content in this present moment,
exactly.
being connected with family, because the vulnerability of life is now so apparent. You lose somebody very dear and close to you, then you're like, instead of putting in those days working hard for a work that you thought you'd want to do, you would have rather spent it with, family.
Exactly.
That's a great takeaway, man. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap up over here. Yeah, it's about a good 43 minutes, but any time kahan gaya. But before I wrap up, I just want to question you, as you've seen me on and off the
Yeah.
last 16 years. I
Yeah.
want to understand through your eyes what my narrative has been as an actor / a human being.
Yeah, I think I feel you've grown up, alongside, all of us. Uh,
Yeah.
as an actor, I saw something, of late of yours that you'd done a few years back, or I think last year. That was so good. That was so refreshing. Post remix, you did so many shows. Your Hindi's become so good. And I think that
Mm.
just shows that you've worked on yourself. As a
Mm.
human being, I feel, buddy, we still connect because I think on a humane level, we're still the same people that we were probably 16 years back. And
Mm.
my takeaway from Remix, was last year on the 15th anniversary of Remix when all of us met. And, I
Yeah.
came back home and I shared it with a few friends of mine who are like my very close friends now. And I said,
Mm.
what I loved about last night was that I was not Karan Wahi the star there still. I was
Mm.
Karan Wahi, the boy from Remix. I
Mm.
was treated the same way. I was, spoken to the same, by everyone the same way because they
Mm.
know Karan the actor, the Karan the boy, before Karan became, this household name. And
Mm.
and I feel each one of us has that in us, and that's why we've all survived. That's why we've all thrived in our own ways. Yes, some of us probably for the world would be way more because the numbers on Instagram are more. But I think
Mm.
if numbers defined uh, anybody, then Remix would have